You do look like a bit of a tit, don't you? Hello, I'm Emily Lowrey, and this is my unsponsored, bought with my own bloomin' money review of the Rokid Max. I've had them for a good few weeks now, and I've used them with pretty much every device that I own, so that all the mistakes I've made, you don't need to. Let's get stuck into it. So one of my primary use cases is using it with my MacBook Pro for video editing, script writing, and just general whatever I need to do on my computer work-wise. And I have to say I'm super impressed with how great that experience has been. It's just plug in and play on my MacBook Pro using the USB-C cable, and it will either give you a secondary display, or my preference is to just mirror the display that I have and just get more real estate out of it and see what you're doing a little bit better. I like it a lot because in the summer months, like today it's so blooming hot, I have been working in the garden. Sometimes I have to put my screen on 100%, it drains the battery quite quickly and you can't really see what's going on too well anyway. So with the Rokid Max, I can turn my display off or down and get better battery life and be outside in the fresh air editing away. I have also used the glasses even editing at my desk as well, because I am terrible for sort of slouching forwards a bit, and having the glasses on, you can concentrate on your posture, you can lean your head back a little bit more. It is a very nice experience. Now, because of the way that they're designed, even when you have them on, you can see beneath for when you type very, very easily. So if you can't touch type, or if you need to sort of use a command key for whatever reason, I'm going to take them off. If you need to use your keyboard, you can see the keyboard at the same time as when you are wearing them. So it's a very easy way, even if you use that as your one and only screen, to still use your peripherals. A quick note on this, if you are thinking of using them for work like I do, they are certified as eye comfort devices, which means there is less blue light within these glasses, just to make it easier on your eyes. The downside of this is if you are doing color work, like color grading video or photo editing, you cannot do that with these glasses. The color shift is a little bit warm. When you're watching a film, for instance, it's quite pleasing, it looks very nice, and it is very easy on your eyes, but if you want color correct editing, you can't do that with these. So when I'm editing a video, I will color grade it on my screen, and then I can chop and do everything else that's required, just none of the color work. FYI. Let's talk about eye comfort. Now, I have a lot of eye strain in my life. I have to wear sort of like special glasses when I'm at my desk. I don't have bad eyesight, so I don't need to change the diopters on the glasses. It's just that if I concentrate on things too closely for too long, years and years and years of working in front of a screen, I do suffer from eye strain. And my biggest concern on taking the leap to buy these was, would it feel like there is a screen here and will it fatigue my eyes? I am so happy to say not at all. It feels like when you have a VR headset on and you can see the depth through the scene like you can in real life. So it does honestly feel like, particularly when you have the blinkers on, which I recommend, to be honest, it is a better experience keeping the blinkers on. When you have them on, it looks like you're in a cinema. So you do feel far away from the image and it feels big. So no eye strain to report. I've used these for many hours at a time and I am prone to eye strain and I haven't got it at all. Aside from my MacBook Pro, my second most used device is my iPad mini. This has a USB-C as standard, so it is just plug and play. And all of the streaming services work absolutely fine. You've got Netflix, Apple TV, yada yada yada. On your iPhones, because you have a lightning cable, it won't use the streaming services. To my knowledge, there's no way around this. So on the phone you can watch YouTube, but there's not much else you can do. On your Android phone, I believe it's fine and everything's unlocked, because Android is a lot less restrictive than iOS. So just bear that in mind. If you do have an iPhone, the use cases are quite limiting. And also you can't directly connect to it. You have to get this silly box thing that uses a Wi-Fi connector. It's a pain in the backside. I wouldn't overly recommend using it with an iPhone at all. iPad mini, on the other hand, absolute perfection. I cannot wait to be taking this on long haul flights and sit there like a boss watching movies. It's gonna be so good. And on that note, the speakers built in are well better than I thought as well. I will use my noise cancelling headphones for when I'm doing work and stuff, because I don't want to annoy anyone around me. I equate it to, like, did you ever have like those Walkman headphones with little sponges? Well, you do get a lot of bleed out into the environment. So depending on what you're listening to, it's not the most private experience, so you can use other headphones with them. But if you are just using the built-in headphones, they're well better than I thought. They're really, really good. Another concern of mine was edge sharpness, particularly around text. So I use mine to write scripts for this video. I actually scripted this video in the garden, wearing my glasses before filming this. How very meta of me.
How are the glasses, Em?
Do you know, I'm really enjoying them for script writing. I wasn't expecting to be able to do it because the text is quite small, and a lot of people have said that the edge sharpness is a little bit softer, but I'm actually finding it more comfortable because when I'm on my laptop, I kind of hunch over and get close to the screen, whereas now I don't have to. So even for text, I'm impressed. What are your thoughts and feelings?
I like it. It's like, I honestly thought that having these on would be like too in my face, but like it's a little bit further away, so it's pretty cool. And I really love the fact that no matter which direction I am, I can see my screen.
And I like that you can kind of see beneath if you need to type as well. So
yeah, like if I need to type, I can actually kind of just look down and see my keyboard.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit like being in a cinema somehow.
It is. It feels like I'm like towards the middle to back rows in the cinema.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
I love it. That's really cool. I want some.
Now, the software that I use to script is a service called Milanote. So the text is right in the middle of the screen, so it doesn't touch the edges at all, and it's crisp and it's lovely. However, if you are reading text where it fills the full screen and it goes to the edges of the frame, you will get a little bit of edge softness. Where this has been a little bit of a pain in the backside is when I'm using Final Cut, because the timeline and the viewer is in perfect position, but when I have to go through my transitions or my sort of bits around the edges, it is a little bit softer. Another thing that you have to train yourself to do, which is quite funny, is if you are using Final Cut, for instance, it's my instinct and most people's instinct to move the neck to see in this corner and this corner. When you've got them on your head, obviously the screen moves with you. So you have to sort of train your eyes to move to the corners and not move your head. And over time, it can be a little bit fatiguing if you're not used to it. So just bear that in mind. I haven't had eye strain through using the glasses, but it has been a little bit fatiguing because you have to look all the way around the edges of this massive display using only your eyes and not the rest of your head, if that makes any sense. I was curious about the Retroid Flip because it runs Android and it's got USB-C. Nada, no starter, doesn't work at all. Poo. However, the experience on my Steam Deck and my ROG Ally more than made up for it. Now, this is kind of funny. If you are thinking of using this with the Steam Deck, just bear in mind that a lot of games on your tiny screen, you can get away with low graphics because the screen is so small. I was playing Detroit Become Human on the tiny little screen, lowest settings, it ran really well, you get 3 hours battery life, it's a great experience. The minute I put my glasses on and blew that up to like 200 blooming inches, my God, you don't realise how bad the graphics are. The tiny screen hides a lot of imperfections. With that in mind, the experience of using the glasses on the ROG Ally is so much better just because you can up the graphic quality without losing performance. So the glasses look so much better through the Ally versus the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck also has this lovely annoying feature where when you hit 35%, immediately, oddly specifically 35%, the glasses turn off. And given that you can't charge them at the same time, you are going to hit 35% over and over and over again if you are gaming. So if anyone in the comments could tell me how to turn that off, that would be great. I haven't had this issue at all on the ROG Ally, and I did ask online, and everyone online has said that it's all glasses that do this on the Steam Deck, not just these ones. So do bear that in mind. Now, for gaming, it is life-changing. I'm playing It Takes Two on my Steam Deck with my husband at the moment. It's like a 2-player co-op game where you have a device each. My goodness. I might do a dedicated video on this game actually. It's so good. If you have a friend or a partner who's into gaming, or even if they're not, just play this game together. It's brilliant. Having this experience where I can lie back on the couch and I'm playing, and then I get to 35% and then I can plug it in and play for an hour normal and then lie back and chill. It feels so cinematic and so immersive. I highly recommend this for gaming, so long as you're not forced into the lowest of the lowest settings in the graphics, as I've said, because it does look a bit worse because it's so much bigger. Games in the middle, like It Takes Two, the graphics look stunning and it looks like a Pixar film in your head. It's so cool. If you're in a very bright environment, use the blinkers. If you want to be a bit more immersed, use the blinkers. Just use the blinkers. I don't even know if they're called blinkers, but they remind me of like, you know, things that you have on horses. So I'm calling them blinkers. Blinkers. And comfort on my face. These are tremendously light and very light on my nose. And I think I'm quite blessed in the sense that where my eyes are, it feels really light on my nose. I was showing my friend Emma in the garden before, and she said that they were sort of leaning on her sinuses and they felt quite heavy. And I know there's different nose pieces that we could have tried, but I think it really is almost up to chance whether they are perfect for your face or not. Everyone's face is slightly different, so your mileage may vary. So, are they worth it? They are not cheap. Let's be honest, they're not cheap. I think yes, if you travel a lot. I think I'm going to get so much of my money's worth when I go on the long haul flights, or if I need to edit when I'm out and about. I think they are going to be great. With all the gaming stuff aside, I actually think it would be worth it for me just for the productivity side, because I really do like not being tethered to my desk. It makes work not feel like work, and that's great at the end of the day. Playing with my ROG Ally and my Steam Deck is just icing on the cake. That experience is fantastic. Again, with my stupid close-sighted eye strain thing, it really gives my eyes a break. You wouldn't think it, but it does. Staring close at the small screen on the Steam Deck, for instance, for 3 hours is quite fatiguing to my eyes, but having an hour like this and then an hour in the Rokid Maxes and then back to the screen, it's actually really good. Who'd have thought that strapping a 210-inch screen to your face would be good for your eyes? So I think if you can think of a number of use cases within your life where you would use them regularly, do it. I think they're probably some of the best AR glasses on the market at the moment, and I do really rate them. So watch this video next about the iPad mini. I switched from the iPad Pro down to the iPad mini, and I regret nothing.